Sup? This is actually looking a lot nicer than last week, where I'm not having issues. Got my laptop up to date, so should be fine and dandy for tonight's stream. What's up, peeps? We're doing Vitality GiantX. I need to put some nice music on for you guys. Let's just go Royal. D3. Background music. Ooh. That power is really weird. It's sticking. Odd. So there we go. Hopefully that's being picked up. It seems to be. So, I'm also going to put on my phone version of the stream, just being chilling. Just check sound, so give me a minute or two to do that. Hopefully, tonight's stream goes well. I'm very conscious of, obviously, the network going down. It's been a bit more stable recently. So thankfully I'm not as worried about that as last week, actually. Let's turn this down a little bit. So, there we go. That's a bit nicer. It is boiling hot here. And I'm really, really boiled up. So yeah. There's that. There we go. That's a bit better. Anyway. Let's see how this goes. I'm obviously talking into a microphone. I just took my headphones out. No webcam tonight because I am, as you say, really looking boiled to a crisp and not very webcam friendly after a long day's work. So, Vitality GX is tonight's game. And honestly, really looking forward to covering this one. As the two teams here are coming in with an interesting set of form. Vitality up and down, GiantX also up and down, both on 1 and 4. So this game overall will decide a lot, and we've got to focus on this jungle matchup. 2 new junglers to the league. Obviously one, I think, is a literal world champion with DRX. Anyway, let's get into actual picks and bans. Vi, Yone, Trist. Talia also probably is a powerful pick that needs to be removed. What else is there? See, this new meta is very up in the air in terms of what's good, what's not, and there is a lot of similarities to the end of last split, end of MSI, on the strong picks. Skarner's one, Yone's an interesting one because it seems more like a target ban. Now, if I'm Vitality, the Antonio plays tank, so you're not really focused in on his playstyle. The rest of the team's still very strong, so maybe Rumble coming through. So this leaves ADCs open available. It leaves mid laners open available. I think Talia honestly takes a lot more prio. And then you get choice of bot laners, because as a whole, there is a lot of options. Ez has risen back into prio with the poke in her ass. Kaiser offers a split option. It can go into 2 lanes. It can go mid or bot. Same with Surge. Like, with how G2 have played the pick, the options where Surge can go is top or jungle. So there's that option. TF comes through to kind of negate, obviously, getting a range matchup into arguably normally a tank for the Antonio. So Zack's up, but I wouldn't really want to play that into TF. Ornn's available. Honestly, a champion that I'd really like to return back to the meta that does quite well against TF is Shen. Just think about it. Matching ult globals, you've got the ability to negate the gold card with your W. The Q extra attack damage, the taunt with the E. I really would love to see Shen back in meta. Leona comes through to round out possibly the bot lane for GiantX. They ban out the Alistar. Maybe they ban the Naut here? Or Rel? As options for bot lane bans. Continue if they want to remove out supports here on 4-5. Vitality side of things, they've got options here to ban out mids. Ahri, strong, has roam. Azir, also available for Jackies. These sorts of picks could come through as bans. They're going to ban top laners. So they're trying to, I guess, force the Antonio to actually play tank. Maybe they ban out Zac here on 5. Just cause he is sort of the guy that will play him. We'll see. Braum actually is a decent... So they're removing the defensive options here. So they're probably going to look to get maybe a bit more engaged with the like Zac option. Or Cassante. People forget Cassante, while nerfed to smithereens, got a bit of power back, still is a viable tank in the top lane. I think I would like to see, though, a Zac ban here from Vitality. Just remove that last form of engage. Yasuo. So Jackie's not going to get either one of the brothers, the Blade brothers, the Steel Tempest and the... I think, are they both called Steel Tempest? I think one of them's... They're both Tempests. Oh well. Varus comes through, so there's... I'm not really saying it's still a flex, but Varus can play mid and so can the Kaiser. I would much rather see the Kaiser mid over the Varus, just because... Actually, no, I'd rather see the Varus in the mid lane and Kaiser in bot. Kaiser does better into Ezreal in terms of avoiding the poke and harass. Varus is very stationary. Talia doesn't have the same sort of range as does, so you can kind of poke her and keep her at bay. And let's pick up here for Vitality as they go Senna. Okay, this is a very scaling heavy comp, low engage, TK top, or jungle. Talia jungle, TF top, Ezreal mid, Senna TK bot? It's a very reactionary comp. Either you catch people out on sides, or you can't really engage if you're Vitality. Like, it lacks so many engage tools that GiantX have. That Malphite coming in, that just is such a good gap closer. Build full tank. Yeah, I like it a lot here from GiantX. Their draft is a full go signal if you look at it as a whole, and it's just so hard for, I think, Vitality to play this game. The game's already won. Draft diff is huge here. And Vitality don't need to really do too much in game. Sorry, GiantX don't really need to do too much in game. Scaling is a worrisome factor later, but like, you've got such a heavy engage comp. Your poke and harassment from the Kaiser and Varus is almost guaranteed to land if you go in, and it's just, do GiantX overcommit and get punished? If they don't, they win. Simple as that. Vitality just drafted a losing hand. And I can't really explain much more than that, because they lack any real engage. TK is the only form of real engage, and he's needing to be there to protect which carry. Well, that's an issue, because you've got literally 4 different carries to protect. You can't protect them all as TK. You only get 1 Devour. And you're just doomed from the get-go with this draft. Like, there's no real winning in this state. Just can take a brief look at the runes, keystones, all that jazz. Surprising it's not First Strike Ezreal. That is surprising to me. What else is there to talk about? Varus Hail Blade. It's Aftershock Leona. Guardian TK. Comet Malphite's quite surprising. Much rather see like Aftershock to survive the burst combo that Vitality have. I guess that's the only up factor to Vitality's draft is the burst potential they offer. The Ezreal True Shot Barrage, Mystic Shots comboed with the W. You've got the Rock Throws into Seismic Shove, Earth, and what's it called? Unraveled Earth. Bot side, bit of an engage, but nah. TK's going to stack him up, won't get the clap back. Oh well. I was just checking when England played on my phone. Mid lane, a heavy trade here from Jackie's. Should get the... Did he flash Q? Flashing guaranteed a Q. That was a good play. Well done by VTO. Very close. Mid. Jungle has roamed into topside. Malphite is dead. He doesn't need to flash. Vitality get on the board early. That's actually quite good. The scaling comp getting ahead. Pretty nice. Need to see that mid play again, to be honest. To really comment on it. But, like, it did look like Jackie's was winning out that trade. But the flash from VTO kind of guaranteed the hit of the Q to guarantee the kill. Because an auto attack probably wouldn't have killed at that range, I think. If that's what happened. If not, the auto attack did kill. But now we're just seeing a bit of nice counter jungling here by Gion. And the thing about for Talia is he's... Oh, they're going to punish this. Sedge is caught. Like, just use the W. But the 4-man collapse is in. Gonna go in. Root it up immediately. Seismic Shove. Just don't give over a kill to the mid lane Ezreal. That's good. That's just greedy. And punish for it, to be honest. The only good thing I would say is TK and Senna got pulled off the wave. That's the only bonus there. But it's like, I get that you're trying to steal away something that was kind of just taken away from you. But as a whole, you've got no winning top lane. Mid's losing. Bot lane was in an awkward state. So going for an invade if you're the Sedge made no sense. So you're kind of in this situation where now Talia gets to play the map a little easier. She can affect other lanes. Sorry about that noise. I'm just getting comfy. But yeah, now Talia just gets the camp lanes. She can land a massive amount of threaded volleys onto this Malphite. And it's just a Q harass. Flash, Golkak secures the kill. A good seismic shove there to obviously guarantee if Malphite flashed out. Juhan finally getting on the board for GX is nice. It's a good responsive play. Little late, but still. At least something was garnered back if your team GiantX. Bot side. Leona goes in. Gonna put the shield break. Fuck. You know name. TK's gone a bit too far, I think. yeah, the damage from the Varus is quite massive. Good chase down there by Ignar. Obviously, the W shielding and resistance is massive from this Leona at this stage. And you go, she's level 4, say, 1 point into Q, 2 points into W, 1 point into E. And you just have the easiest time of just sustaining through an engage. With a Varus who obviously likes those engages where you go in and stun them, get some time, build up the passive on the Varus's autos. Always nice. TP top. Not in vision. And that's the Varus coming up topside. So the lane swap. I didn't actually realize that Patrick has TP. And this is kind of surprising because I don't think TF really expects this play. So early contest from GiantX onto the Grubs. They stop Vitality's play for them. That's actually quite nice. The Antonio, obviously on a tank, doesn't really need too much farm to be relevant in this game. He's technically just an ult bot. Same with Sedge, to be honest, and Leona. So they realistically don't need the farm. So they can just play the style if you're GiantX, where they get the gold into the 2 carries, aka Jackies and Patrick. And immediately, because of the fact that Varus TP top, they've secure push themselves. The Antonio is kind of forced to hover around. Massive ultimate there. Secure skill on Photon. The Unstoppable Force does its job. And he just kind of was forced to make that play. If you think about it, the Antonio. He kept having his back denied. So he just hovered, waited for the wave to crash in, then went for the ulti play. It was clean. And the bot side tower, this is the thing. Sure, they're burning waves down bot side. The Antonio does have TP if he needs it. But, like, if you think about it, he's got himself an assist off the back of it. So there's about 150 gold. You probably lost about a wave, which is, what, 10 minions? 10 minions worth 25. No, it's not that. It's 6 minions. So 6 minions worth 25-ish. It works out slightly worse of a trade. But in the long run, you're not really bothered because you've just gotten a kill onto your Varus, who, as you can see right now, is doing pretty well in terms of XP. Ahead of the junglers, which is good. And that extra power onto this Varus in the bot lane matchup is huge. Because Senna TK, you're going to be able to freely hit this Tom Kench every time he steps up. And just chunk him. Continue to chunk him. His grayscale health won't be as effective. Because he's just not going to be able to pop it without being hit by a lot of harass. So the work that's being done here by GiantX is Weaver's Wall is going to be used. And Jackie's is letting him know that that didn't really work out. So yeah. Overall, a worthwhile play if you're GiantX. Bot side, they're going to get the pick here. Kazi's overstepped. The Sedge is in for the play, and into the backside goes this team. Varus free firing in, the piercing arrows doing work, and is going to secure the kill onto Kazi. TK gets away. It's weird. I'm actually intrigued. I'm going to go back a few seconds here. And I want to discuss how TK realistically could have played this. Because just looking at it, I'm just watching Hilly summoners here. Just keep your eye over here at Hilly and his abilities. Because for right now, it's interesting. So he eats him there as he's stunned. That's the interesting thing. Okay, I'm actually really intrigued by that. So Immediately jumped on. Tom Kench devours Senna. And is immediately routed by the Varus. Where was the Varus ult fired? Where did it get fired? I can't actually see who it's fired at. Because if it's fired at the Senna, surely you let her get... Oh, I fucked it. Sorry. I'm just going to slow it down. So, Kazi's caught, he overstepped. The Varus ult was fired at the Senna. So, in theory, Hilly ate the Senna too early. Because then he gets hit by that. He's then permafrosted. So there's the double chain of permafrost because the Sedge ult comes through. To be honest, Kazi could have taken a little bit more damage. Hilly would have then been able to have eaten him. I think that if he did in that style, no, because you wouldn't have then been able to Abyssal Voyage over this wall. The CC chain was too much, so yeah. Hilly tries to get the best of a worse situation by running. Because he's not the prime target. And gets away. So, realistically speaking, that's the best. Wait, Kazi has cleanse. Kazi has cleanse up. Hilly's getting caught by the soul. This is just looking dumb. I didn't realize Kazi was running cleanse. He could have actually have got out of that. You cleanse the Varus ult, tank the Sedge ult, get devoured. Then there's no stuns available to... I mean, could have actually maybe have not got out. I don't know. It's hard to think because I don't know. Leona had solar eclipse. Yeah, no, there was no escape. I think in that case, Ignar misplayed it. He could have dropped the solar eclipse instead of tunneling onto Kazi. Yeah, I think that's a misplay. All things considered, I think GiantX got the least greedy maneuver or reward when they could have been a bit more greedy in terms of getting 2 kills instead of 1. But they're transitioning their gold lead around the map here, and it's through Patrick, to be honest. If you look at what they've just done, they've gotten the kills bot side, then have immediately taken their bot lane up to the top side map, secured 5 Void Grubs, and now we're just starting to pile pressure onto this top lane tier 1. And that's without much contest on the bottom lane tier 1, because obviously TF goes down there. So we're in a weird lane swap situation where bot lanes are matching up of sorts. However, you can't really class the Vitality bot lane as a bot lane due to it being Senna TK. And Senna's not really an ADC in the same thread of, say, Varus. Bot lane possible play going to come through. The Seismic Shove's going to push Varus, the Malphite through a lot of damage. Hilly's caught. What is he doing? He's burnt his flash already. He also has TP, I'm just realizing. Tower Dive does work out for both teams. Patrick secures the kill. And yeah. A weird 1-for-1 trade, I guess. Tower's going in favor of GiantX here because they get first tower blood. Looking at mid lane, Kaiser's starting to get a push out. Ezreal's going up to top side. And a possible play going to come through as TP's being used. It's a double TP from Vitality. They're hunting Destiny use. Leona's going to be forced to flash the wall. And that's a lot burnt there if you're Vitality. TPs on multiple members, support in top, and then Destiny as well invested. This should be free and easy Drake for GiantX, to be honest. Because Vitality can't really engage. That was the Vitality engage, by the way. Just use there. You can't really land it if they've got flashes. So GiantX just can play the range game and win. It's simple as that. And the sad thing is, 10 seconds until Chemtech Drake, and we're not even going to be playing for a shit soul. Cloud Soul off the table, Chemtech Soul off the table. I'm actually surprised Vitality are getting this. Sedge is mid, but she's not going to be there in time. It's secured an Infernal Soul, the prize, for these two teams. Yeah. Grouping up as 5 in mid for Vitality. They're trying to get a pick onto Sedge. Hilly's going way too far forward. And he's away from this Anna. He's not really protecting his carry. Referrals on the table. I'm actually surprised this is happening, by the way. Can we just point out the fact that... Oh, never mind. The engage comes through. Hilly going to be targeted up. This Soul Eclipse lands onto him. Into the backline goes this Malphite, but he's unable to land the unstoppable force. Senna. TK's first fall as a Sedge. Wani ult comes flying through, landing onto this Ezreal, but the health bar means that this Sedge cannot continue forward. Talia goes diving in, but gets dodged away from by Juhan, and that's just going to result in Harold going over to Vitality due to the low health bar of this Sejuani. But to be honest, that was a weird play. Like, Hilly's trying to force so hard. Can I just say it? He's trying to force so hard to making plays. But this draft doesn't allow him to, because he's having to play... We should be playing more defensive, but we watch this fight. Sedge catches out Hilly. And they go in, get aggressive. It's a good flash out there by Kazi to avoid Malphite, but Hilly's left in no man's land. And because of that, he's just unable to play. His team's trying to play range and he can't do everything. And that's the issue with this comp that I'm seeing right now. This bot side of the map just does not work for what's gone into the top side. And that is causing issues for Vitality. We saw them getting... Well, Hilly getting picked off right there is the telltale sign of a poor executed draft. Now, what I would say is the chase down was something that Vitality won out, because they can play the range and poke and harass you down. That's the one good thing about this Vitality draft. And because they were able to poke down Juhan, it meant that GiantX couldn't contest the Herald. Now there's a pressure point for Vitality. And the issue is, because they don't have any like strong frontline to dissuade GiantX's comp, it's going to be very hard to kind of get this Herald down and utilize it effectively, because you're basically going to need to bring all 5 members to one lane in order to secure any form of play, which is inevitably going to form a certain team fight. And it's impending doom. Speaking of impending doom, Kazi's stepping too far forward. Not going to go just... He's not overcommitting. And he's played that quite well to not, but he has just leashed the Scuttle Crab for GiantX, which is maybe not the best of things. So, we've already kind of discussed the team comps as a whole. Let's discuss items that they're building up towards. Top side of the map, Kraken Slayer on lock for this TF versus Frozen Heart. Probably one of the best items you can pick up into this comp. Ezreal's attack speed lowered. TF's attack speed lowered. Senna's attack speed, well, not really her main kettle of fish. It's still lowered, and that's a huge bonus for this GiantX squad. And how they actually deal with opponents is pretty nice. Sedge is building up Fiends as Jackie's on the run, getting jumped on immediately. He's dead. That seismic shove sealed it. Good collapse there from Vitality to secure the kill. But that is essentially what this comp is built to do, is get picks. And that was well executed, using the Weaver's Wall and the Destiny together. Just meant that there was no escape really for Jackie's. And while he did burn his flash, he was kind of... didn't have any escape. And with the extra mana advantage now, Vitality get to use the Herald mid and group up together. This is kind of the other way of forcing a Herald play. It's well worked. Now with Drake up on the table, they can go for that. However, just the fact that Jackie's can TP over here means that the inevitable play for Vitality kind of gets it gets stopped. It's dissolved where it stands. Gold card thrown out. Leona gonna just use the Shield of Daybreak to keep herself tippity topped up as the ADC start to poke her ass. A lot of damage down onto Kazi's center. And yeah, watch the flank. Malphite's going to wrap all the way around onto Vision. But he's coming in on this angle, and he's getting a perfect angle on. Hilly's just dead. And now there's no protection for Vitality. And this is the issue with the comp. It's as simple as that. You kill Hilly, there's no safety net for Vitality, and they can't step up. And with the engage, stuns, and all the tools in the hands of GiantX, Vitality, no way to protect their support. It's just a bloodbath based off of a draft diff. So, as it stands, 20 minutes on the clock, 67 kills, and we just watched this. Hilly's caught the Varus ult into this Leona ult. Sedge ult probably will follow. There you go. It's just a perma CC chain not allowing an Abyssal Voyage, and Hilly's just dead. It's a great execution from GiantX to not allow Vitality to play this game. And while you would say yes, it's close on kill score and the fact that Vitality have a gold lead, GiantX is just having easier time playing out this late game, playing out these Baron takes, because Vitality can't Baron flip. They got a quick enough team to kill it, sure, but they need to secure Vision around this pit. And already we see this ward here, there's a ward in the back of the pit, there's a ward here if we're looking on the minimap. Essentially, there's even this ward here. There's no way for Vitality to start this Baron without it being on some form of GiantX Vision. Now that being said, Vitality have their own set of Vision up. As the engage comes through, that is going to be a dead Talia, eaten up by the TK, just devouring her to keep her alive. But TK's next to fall. Down goes both the Talia and the Tom Kench, and Senna's left on alone. Kazi on the run, but he's going to be knocked to the ground by the Antonio. Next up, it could be VTO. Trying to get a pick onto this Leona. Diving forward. The poke is a lot, and the damage is coming through, but will eventually get the kill. Never mind. On the other side of the play, TF is just going to be split pushing. And that is the bot lane tier 2 falling. Baron taken incredibly low, but the smite comes through, securing it by the Sejuani. Now the Dawning Shadow going to deny any back opportunity for GiantX, and the chase down can come through. Photon using the gold card, hunting, trying to get picks. VTO trying to land the Mystic shots, but it's not enough. GiantX make their way to the top lane tier 2, and get the backs off in time. However, I think they're going to lose this mid lane tier 2 if they're not quick enough. Vicio already securing the push in. Alongside him is Hylissang, and while, sure, the Baron's not on Vitality's side, they've already come ahead with a tier 2 on the bot side. It won't result in much more than that. And now the Baron siege can begin for GiantX. Oh. A little bit tired me. Sneaking into these. So, as it stands, a little bit more has happened. Picks have happened. And another one could be coming through. Jackie's possibly being baited. The back will complete. No, it won't. Hilly didn't stops his own back. God damn it, Hilly. He's still staying around. There's a flank angle here. And this Tom Kench could be the benefactor. Gonna walk over a ward just to try and get back to the safety of this center. He goes in, devours her up, and Soul Eclipse is burnt, so it's both support ults and the Sejuani ult on cooldown. Malphite forced her unstoppable force away. And this is GiantX running away from the poke. 30 seconds until this Infernal Drake. Soul point if GiantX secure it. With the Baron in hand, you kind of have to feel that maybe they want to go for it. As the Weaver's Wall comes through, they're hunting. They've caught Jackie's out isolated. Killer Instinct is an option, but the gold card gonna deny the escape. Talia, with that threaded volley, gonna secure the kill. And Vitality punishing oversteps. And this is the issue for GiantX. You can't be caught out when a dragon's on the table. When there's an objective to play for. It's just doom. And the other thing is, the thing about Vitality's comp, you can't go making split push plays if you're GiantX unless you have a buddy. And typically the buddy is your jungler, who can just clear the jungle camps nearby. Now, the issue of that is, in this game, GiantX, or more specifically, Jackie's has been trying to step up without anyone protecting him. And that results in the pick. Twice now. Once in bot lane, once in top lane. He's been punished for overstepping. So, as a whole, Vitality are realistically, well, I don't like the draft, playing it pretty well. They're just trying to avoid teamfighting, which is a hard thing to do considering that's what GiantX want to be doing. And GiantX managed to get the flash out from Linkus. And they've managed to get the pick. Kazi is bursted out. Flash out from Hilly to safety to avoid the solar eclipse. And that pick from the GiantX squad probably going to result in the mid lane tier 1 falling. It should do at least. Static Shiv going to just clear the wave quite quick. And the tower's going to fall. TP going to come through. And it's the Ezreal joining up with the rest of his team. Vitality. It's awkward. They get caught off in the mid lane. And they're just deleted. And this is an issue with Senna. Minimal movement tools. She's not Ezreal, who can arcane shift and flash. She's Senna, who can flash and E. That's her protective movement tools. They're not very good compared to the others. So, as a whole, GiantX playing this weirdly, I would say. Their Baron wasn't really used to get much of an advantage. Someone's dropping a little circle. It wasn't me. But yeah, they didn't get much of an advantage off the Baron. In fact, the gold's pretty much even. Slightly ahead for Vitality by 500. Which is a tower, to be honest. If GiantX can crack open one more tower, they've evened up the gold. Pretty simple. And they're looking for a fight. VTO could be caught. The Void Seeker goes wide as the Sejuani and the Malphite clamps coming through. The pincer in play as that's the Edge of Night popped off of Kazi's center. VTO dashing forward with the Arcane Shift, looking for a pick as the Sejuani just runs over the wall. The damage coming out from the Varus is quite high right now, as Kazi is taking some considerable poke here. But keep your eyes on the Antonio. He's looking for the flank angle. Hilly trying to match him, trying not to allow this Malphite to get close, but this is the thing that GiantX can do. Just turn to Baron. Force Vitality into them. Force them to fight. Force them to make the misplay. And Destiny's on cooldown now. And this flank, I'm looking at this Malphite. I see 3 members grouped up and he's only going to hit onto one. The backline of Vitality is still able to free fire in as the Sejuani is taken incredibly low. Hillosang's first fall like always as the Kaiser gets first kill. And now, what can the rest of Vitality's carries do? They're starting to get damage down. But it's not going to stick as Sedge just going to heal up with the Warmogs. And now Vitality, the Baron, could be impending doom for them. They're forced to step forward. Photon with the gold camp prepped, trying to clear as much vision as possible. But yeah, that fight, not very clean. If we think about it from GiantX, the Antonias will only hit one, when realistically he should have got more than one with that big boy. 2 picks would have more than likely secured the Baron for GiantX. And as it stands, we're still at a stalemate. 10 seconds until Infernal Soul for one of these two, Soul Point for one of these two teams, I should say. But the other play is Baron. And I think we might see a Drake for Baron trade coming through. Jackie's gonna solo the objective as Vitality bait, waiting for GiantX to step forward, using the control ward vision to just deny any knowledge of a play to GiantX. But GiantX just pushed the mid wave in. That needs to be responded to, and VTO is going to be doing that. GiantX clear out some vision. And just wait. Force Vitality to make the mistakes. You've already secured a possible fight around Soul with that 3rd Drake secured. You're already baiting this Baron Pit play. And that could be Senna caught out. The Sejuani ult goes wide. But the tankiness of her just means that she's not going to take too much damage as she goes headfirst into Vitality. Warmogs should top her health bar up as mid. There's a pick. They've already caught out this member and down goes VTO. A massive unstoppable force allows the Killer Instinct to land. Marisol going to be flashed out of from by Hilly, and that's the Baron being started up here by GiantX. Now, the other play is they've already got Photon making a split push play for tier 2. So Vitality, if this Baron doesn't get taken, I think are content with how it's going. But the Weaver's Wall comes through. Into the pit goes the Tilia, and that was a close one. Sejuani going to secure it in the end. And that is Baron over to GiantX. Hilly-san on the run as the rest of his team isolated in no man's land. The Malphite's going to come in. He does not have the Killer Instinct, the Unstoppable Force just yet. But someone who does have stuns is this Leona. She's going to look for the picks. The Senna, the TF, prime targets, cleanse burnt out from her, and the fight is gonna begin. It's 3-on-1 as the Senna's gonna be picked off on the bottom side though. Malphite gonna be taken incredibly low as Patrick goes unstoppable. Kaiser gets herself a kill onto the rampage, and Vitality are being torn apart limb from limb. 3 members down, and the TPs are looking to continue this one as over the wall goes the Unstoppable Force. dominance from Patrick as he secures the 4th kill for his team. Vitality deleted from the Rift, with Baron going over to GiantX as well. This should be the game-winning push, if you think about it. There's nothing really here stopping Vitality from pushing. TF's wave clear really is just the wildcards being thrown out, which is minimal. They're relying heavily on Linkus's Talia to get the minions killed off. But as the members of Vitality respawn, they hold on to their base, which is pretty good. They do, however, lose an inhibitor in the top side. The mid lane tower takes a little bit of chunk damage, and just already looking at the minimap, it seems to me that GiantX are already looking to focus the tier 2 bot side. So how does this play kick off? It's just an immediate pick up off onto VTO. Once the Unstoppable Force tags you, that applies the Plasma Stack to allow Kaiser to make the play. Immediate turn onto this Baron because the damage from Vitality is lingering. And they're in 2 minds here. 2 members trying to contest the Baron. 2 members trying to secure a top lane tier 3. Doesn't really work out playing in 2 minds. You either full commit to one play or just get absolutely deleted. And here, Hilly just passes up and gives his team over. The game's up. And yeah, picks come through. Sorrow Eclipse lands. So does the Sejuani ult. And it's actually Sedge going to be junked out. Force a flash out. Going to have the Warmogs to top herself up once she starts to recover. Over the wall, the Unstoppable Force stashes a pick. Good night, Kazi. And now into the base go GiantX once more. Mid lane tier 3 falls. And they're looking to get a little bit more. Vito firing in damage, but the Varus damage is hurting him even more than he can do himself. Hilly taken low. Force a run back to the fountain. And now the next tower is just being deleted. Varus doing a lot of work. So much poke. Gonna secure the kill. Photon falls, and this is just a legendary game from Patrick, needless to say. Weaver's Wall's thrown out, but the Talia is just delaying the inevitable. The tower falls, and there's no defense for Vitality. The base is in tatters, and so is this game. Ezreal dies on the fountain, and so does the game for Vitality. GiantX just win this one in dominant fashion. And all I can say is, draft diff, baby. Draft diff, baby, baby, baby. To be honest, I did not like anything about Vitality's draft. The execution in some aspects of the game was good from them, with the fact that they were able to utilize the pick potential on a couple occasions to counter out Jackie's. But a couple of picks doesn't result in a win. And while they did result in them picking up an objective off the back of them, one objective out of many is not enough to win this game called League of Legends. And thus, they got punished. And GiantX defeated them. Simple as that. And what I can say about it was, you got to give the execution at the end game a lot of credit to the Antonio to get the picks onto Vito, onto Kazi in the needed situations. He needs credit for that. However, what could also be said is, was it misplays from Vitality, or no proper setup in how the draft works? I think that's a better way to word it. I think that, realistically speaking, the draft execution or champion selecting draft did not synergize as intended. I think the Senna TK bot lane is okay in isolation, but as the game went on, and this is no fault of Hilly, but his job is either engage as the only engage option, or B, protect. He can't do both. And what GiantX did well is punished Hilly's positioning. Because he was trying to frontline to protect his carry to allow them to poke, he was prime target to the Sejuani ult, to the Varus ult, to the Leona ult, and once they picked him off with the CC chain, who's gonna keep the 4 ranged squishy targets alive? Answer, no one. And as such, there wasn't really a big fight in this game. Let's be honest. It was either one pick and done in terms of if Vitality lose a play. It was a pick onto Hilly, and then they just gave up and didn't try and contest. That's essentially it. And it just made it incredibly hard for Vitality to find any winning play, which thus resulted in kind of a bore fest of a game, because Vitality kept having a member picked off, then GiantX took an objective, and they managed to stack up to Soul Point. So essentially, Vitality are in a situation where, oh crap, I need to contest Drake, whereas GiantX were like, oh, we could just take Drake and force them to fight us, or we could just go take Baron for free. Needless to say, they didn't go for either. Well, they did. They kind of just took Drake for free and just stopped Vitality going Baron. And while Soul wasn't really the necessary deciding factor of the game, it certainly was building to one. And yeah, all that needs to be said is, don't give me that draft again, Vitality. Regardless, that's that for tonight. It's been a nice one. My throat's hurting. But compared to last week where frames were all over the place, a steady stream and stable. So thanks for joining me. I know you've enjoyed looking at Yike's beautiful face for the last several minutes. If you enjoyed this, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new and if you want to. And I'll see you guys Thursday. Not Thursday, Friday. For the prediction series. You don't want to miss them. Peace out.